All right, welcome back, folks. I'm Jake Ellenbogen. He is Gary Sheffield Jr. This is Yankees Unloaded, and this is coming to you after a win. The Yankees have won yet again against the Royals. Once again, we're going to call it a good team. The Yankees have won their 48th game, against the Royals, 10-1. Gary, this game never felt like it was the Royals game. And I was surprised because I said in one of the shows, not the most recent one, we didn't really cover this game too much in the most recent episode. But I had said in one of the episodes, I was like, Brady Singer always gives the Yankees fits. Well, 6 earned runs is not really fits. Well, it is, but not for the Yankees.
I thought he had good stuff too. That was the crazy part.
That's why they had him go 5 2/3.
Yeah, that was a
weird
surprise. Yeah, because you can see what he's doing and like what he's good at. He likes to tunnel the ball. He's going to throw a lot of comeback sinkers. Like in a way, he pitches the same way Greg Maddux did, and of course, he's not on the same level as Greg Maddux, but the philosophy is the same. I'm going to throw the ball off the plate to righties. You're going to give up on that pitch. It'll be a comeback two-seam fastball, or I guess you can call it a sinker. And then I'm going to work that backdoor cutter, which you actually saw that cutter a bit today. And it was a really good pitch for him. And just surprisingly, we just put the bat on the ball. I mean, that's baseball for you. You can pitch all you want. But when you see a team like the Yankees, who frankly, this is not what I was expecting. This is not the type of series that I was anticipating. Of course, you can't really anticipate a 10-1 game. But based on what Kansas City is on paper, they're great at home. They just don't win on the road, which is fair, right? It's a team that knows how to pitch. They're situationally good offensively, not a great offensive unit. But this series, Jake, I don't know about you, this series coming into it, it felt a lot like those Tampa series where we're going into Tampa, they can spin it, they've got good stuff, and then we kind of lay down. This Yankees team just showed up, no Aaron Judge game one, and just took care of business. And then today, your guy, Austin Wells, shows up with a 3-run jack, making it 6-0, essentially putting the game away. It was humongous. So, and of course, Stroman, his ERA dropping down to 2.82. If we thought we were getting this version of Marcus Stroman, there would have been a lot more happy people this offseason. Of course, we were happy about Soto, but I think it kind of wore off just because of how early it happened. And then we were kind of staring at these moves like, I just don't know if it's enough. Well, it's looking like it was enough. It's seeming like the Yankees are pulling the right strings, and we just dominated start to finish.
No, you're right. I mean, 10-1, you said it best. I mean, the Wells home run was the dagger. It happens in the 4th inning. At that point, it goes from 3-0 to 6-0. Knowing what we know about the Yankees when they score these 5 runs, I mean, I really thought it was over when Torres had that single to left to score Verdugo. When that became 3-0 in the 4th inning on Singer, I already had put it away in my mind. I was just like, okay, so they just haven't really they didn't show up today or whatever, which it is what it is for them. But I think also at some point or another, you got to give the Yankees their due. You got to give the Yankees their credit. This is the best team in the major leagues right now. They're the best team. Okay. That Dodgers series, had they had Juan Soto, is a completely different series. And they won the game that they should have won. The first game, they lost in 11 innings. And the second game was just a complete blowout. But, I mean, I just think Juan Soto just changes the dynamic, like, all around. I mean, we saw a Judge homered twice in the blowout loss, But Juan Soto's presence still matters. No matter what Judge does, Juan Soto being out there just does so much. Now, when you have them in tandem, like tonight, what we saw, the Volpe leadoff triple, honestly, when I saw that, I had a really good feeling about the rest of the day because I was like, okay, Volpe's leading off with a triple. Now I got Soto, Judge, Verdugo, Stanton.
Yeah, that's a prerequisite to beating us, right? A
Yeah,
prerequisite to beating the Yankees is making sure Anthony Volpe, who Volpe is definitely a tier down from Soto and Judge. I think no
of
one would
course.
argue against
Hmm.
that. But when you're allowing somebody to set the tone for the game with a leadoff triple and it's Anthony Volpe, given what's behind him, you're going to have a bad time. I don't give a damn what your numbers are against the Yankees long term. This is what it is. You've got to get him out. And teams have struggled doing that. I know his on base streak ended at almost like 30 games a couple nights ago, but now he's back on it. You know, his ops is still in the mid 700s. He's been excellent. And by the way, today he went 1 for 5. If you'd watched the game, he had a lot of hard contact today. So
Oh yeah,
he played a lot better than that 1 for 5. But again, that's the importance and the reason that we vouch for Anthony Volpe hitting leadoff, because you can set the tone immediately. The Kansas City Royals came into this series and they said, well, because it's not like we're telling you guys narratives about the team that they don't know. They know how well
yeah.
they play at home, and they feel like, yes, if we go into Yankee Stadium, we've got our work cut out for us. But if it's the Yankees and we're at home, you got to be feeling somewhat confident. The Yankees come into Kansas City, they punch you in the face, and then you show up today and you're like, okay, well, this is a must-win game at this point for Kansas City, given how this point of the season's going. And they come in here and you give up a leadoff triple to Anthony Volpe, and you got Soto and Judge coming up right after him. It's a problem. It sets the tone for Singer's start. It felt like he was behind on the 8 ball pretty much in the second or third inning already. And at that point, we know as Yankees fans, the one thing we can count on above all else, lineup, all that aside, we can count on our pitchers giving us quality outings. They're going to give us 5. Stroman did it again. And frankly, the game got out of hand as soon as that was established. So, and also I wanted to bring this up. I thought Rizzo really struggled today. Again, I don't know what's up, but
The bat was
figured we'd
awful.
cover it. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that we didn't just dabble with Austin Wells in that appearance where he hit that 3-run jack, because we have to remember what the task was at hand. And I said before this season started, this team had to get a lot better with situational outs, not just hitting home runs or hitting doubles and triples, all the sexy stuff. They had to make the ugly plays and make sure that they're cashing in on opportunities. Austin Wells was in a situation where he had a guy on third base with less than 2 outs. Of course, he had more runners on, but the important thing was that he put the ball in the outfield and he could give up himself. Well, he put the ball into the outfield, and then thankfully the ball carries out there and goes to dead center field, which I didn't even know he had popped like that. I mean, Jesus.
He
He
does.
absolutely crapped on that ball. He
Yeah.
did.
No, he does. He doesn't have Stanton pop though, because that thing, they said 446, I think it was. No
That didn't
way,
go
dude. That was
446.
480. That was 480.
Do you really think that there's a direct science to knowing the distances? Because I think they make it up. I'm going to be honest with you. I think they just use distance. Like, okay, I think they use velocity and angle and then just spit out a number. I do.
I mean, with the way analytics is, I'm sure they probably just are like, well, the computer told us 446. Like, well, the computer's wrong. Okay. This is why AI isn't going anywhere. It's wrong.
Does the computer dictate the spin and then the
I think it
spin?
measures everything, but Stanton did not. I'm looking at it right now. Stanton did not hit that 446. That was like 480, man. That was like, and by the way, how can we, like, when Judge hit his home run, was that the worst camera job you've ever seen on a home run? They had no idea where the ball went.
Oh,
They
I've
had
seen some
none.
pretty bad ones with them, haven't we? Right? Giancarlo, Judge. We've seen some bad ones. And especially during COVID, for all you baseball fans who watched the game during COVID, remember when Michael Kay had to not even be at the stadium and he's calling the game? He was like, oh, it's deep. And it was just caught 223 feet away from home plate. So I feel like I have PTSD when it comes to that stuff. Of course, it was a tough job. He's not there. But
Yeah.
no, I completely agree with you. The camera job was just garbo in that situation. It was bad.
No idea what we were doing there. But Judge is the best baseball player in the world right now. Maybe there's another planet where there's a better baseball player. It ain't Earth. It's just what it comes down to right now. And Stanton, just once again, now all of a sudden you start to see people talking about Stanton. We mentioned, okay, he's starting to struggle. 2 for 4, huge home run. And not like huge as in like it needed to happen. I mean, they were going to win anyway, but um, just the power, you know. And then Torres scoring 2 runs today, going 1 for 3. I didn't love his approach though at the plate.
Okay.
I didn't. He didn't look super comfortable, but he had results, which I don't really care. I mean, just get those results. Cabrera, same thing. Don't really care. Just get those results. I mean,
I like Gleyber Torres' approach in 2 strikes. I really like his 2-strike approach, but which you've
well,
talked about.
I do. I mean, I
Yeah.
just wish he would use that all the time because I
Right.
think he wastes strikes essentially.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I mean, his leg kick is causing more issues, which it doesn't even make sense. It's like the idea of having a pitching motion and your motion throws you off to the point where you're not even able to get the release point down. Like your release point is off because of your motion. That's what we're seeing with Torres at the plate. So I wish something could change there, because if it did, I'd want him back long term. But it's not getting any better over the course of time. So, that's kind of like where I stand on that. But Wells, though, now hitting 211, working his way up the rungs. I told you at some point that bad luck was going to turn into good luck. It's not sustainable to have bad luck for that long. And that the hard hits and everything are really starting to fall. And he just looks so confident. And a really good example, by the way, of why Brady Singer is as good as he is, and this was just a bad outing, a weird outing too, because it wasn't even that bad. I don't think he pitched that poorly.
No,
just
not at
more
all.
so the stats. When Singer on 3-2 delivered that, was a changeup, and he like painted the inside corner. I don't fault Austin Wells for not swinging at that. That ball looked like it was going to hit him in the thigh. You talk about tunneling, there you go. And that is almost, they made a comment, lefties don't even want to touch that because they look like that ball's coming at me, And he just froze Wells. And I think Wells went into that 3-2 pitch like, I'm not swinging at this. I'm going to try to, get on base, which I like. But that's Singer for you. So the fact the Yankees were able to put 10 on the Royals today on the road, continue their dominance on the road, because we can talk about how good the Royals are at home. The Yankees are 26-11 on the road, Gary. 26-11. I mean,
That
they
seems pretty
are.
good.
Yeah, they're elite. I mean, in every meaning of the word, they are elite. They're an elite home team. They're an elite road team. Obviously, how else are you going to get to a 48-21, win-loss record?
Yeah, this is
You're
true
not.
because Baltimore is the same thing. Baltimore is winning on the road as well. They're great.
They
They're
won
great at pretty
today.
much everything. By the way, side note, how bad was MJ Melendez for Kansas City today? He was absolutely terrible. He was horrid.
How did he not beat that play out at first? Is he that slow?
I mean, I don't know if he's that slow, but let me say this. He had some of the most anemic at-bats I've seen in quite some time, which, by the way, the Yankees' approach was exactly what I said Kansas City's approach should have been yesterday. You remember how I said there's no reason that Kansas City should have pitched to Juan Soto? They should have just made Gleyber Torres beat him, which obviously Gleyber's plenty capable of doing. But if you lose because Gleyber Torres came through, that's a lot better, and you can live with it than if Juan Soto, you come into the game penciling his name. Why would you let him beat you? Same thing today, right? Salvi Perez, he gets into the box. Marcus Stroman was like, I'm not even going after you at all. Here's a backdoor sinker that's a foot off the plate. If the umpire gives me a call or two and I get to you to 2 strikes, well, then I might attack you. But if I don't get those calls, I'll just spin a breaking ball off the plate. You go to first base. Perez can't run. And now you're facing MJ Melendez. MJ Melendez is not beating you. I don't give a damn who you are or who's pitching. He's hitting A career, okay? This is in over 1,000 career at bats. He is hitting 216. He's got 41 bombs. What are they thinking? Having him
He's hitting 159 right now.
He is hitting 159. His on base percentage is 221. Okay.
Where was Nick Prado, by the way? They put him in the pitch, but you know, like wasn't this like a first round pick, 25 years old? I think, has he played all year?
25. I mean, I can look for you.
That was his only entrance in an MLB game this year, to pitch an inning. I don't know. I don't really know. By the way, I think the Royals are in trouble. I'm just going to say that right now. I know the Yankees are elite. We talked about that. But they're not even really putting up a fight. The 4-2 game yesterday kind of was like, I feel like the Yankees were on cruise control. I mean, you know, in reality. This 10-1 affair with, I think Brady Singer is a better pitcher than Lugo. And I think the season, the way the season will end will show Singer is the better pitcher when it's all said and done. So it'll catch up to Lugo. But to see a 10-1 outing, I mean, this is like unacceptable. Like, if I'm a Royals fan, I'm pissed. They came into our house and they beat us. They took Judge. They didn't even respect us. The first game of this series, they took Judge out of the lineup and Stanton. And then they put him back in the lineup in game 2 after we lost, 4-2. And they're both hitting home runs. They got Austin Wells, who didn't play yesterday, hitting a home run. So 3 guys that weren't in the lineup yesterday all hit home runs.
Yeah.
And now, you got Poteet on the mound tomorrow going up against a guy I don't think that has done all that well. Alta Vila. He's barely pitched this year. He's 31. And then they have Marsh on Thursday, who's an over 4 ERA guy. Not bad, 5-3 against Cortez. I think the Yankees are sweeping the Royals. I think they're about to sweep the Royals in the series. And I think that, I think that we're kind of seeing, how like the Pirates have that early, run early on in the season every year, and then they fall off. We're seeing a delayed fall off with the Royals, if we're being honest. And it sucks because I think we all want to see the Royals be good because we've seen them bad for a while. But the reality is they're 4-6 in the last 10 games. And they got 2 more games against the best team in the league. And they have shown no signs at home being able to defend their home field. And in addition to that, like you mentioned, they're a good home team. So if they can't beat the Yankees right now, they can't steal one of these games. What's going to happen when they go back on the road with that 15-16 record? This is not a sustainable team. This team is not sustainable.
I think I believe
they may
in them a little bit more.
Into the wild card. They may.
Yeah.
But they're not winning that division.
Their sights are set, right?
I would hope that they're trying to win the division.
I mean, they are trying to. And especially with Cleveland and what happened to Shane Bieber, I think that they would tell you, hey, we're trying to win this division. But now they're looking at 5.5 games back. Of course, it's still June 11th, so not the end of the world. But I think I believe in Kansas City maybe a little bit more than you do. I just think, to be honest with you, Jake, there's just levels to this. And just because you're at home or you're going on the road, those factors aren't as important. When you face teams like the Dodgers, the Yankees, right? A lot of these teams, the Baltimore Orioles, some of these teams, they come in here, they've got more depth than you. They can give a guy a day off, right? They've got a better staff than maybe you do. The Kansas City Royals are pretty competent against most of Major League Baseball when they go into Kansas City. The problem is most teams in Major League Baseball don't look anything like the Yankees. The Yankees come in and they've got, DJ LeMahieu played yesterday. DJ LeMahieu is still a pretty good player in this league, and he just doesn't even play today. And then you put Oswaldo in there and he makes an impact. So most teams in baseball, they just don't have that type of depth. They don't have that type of talent. And frankly, they don't have the type of star power that we have. And this is without Garrett Cole. We came into this series on the road with a team with a good home record, no Garrett Cole at all. Our staff, we have certainty our staff's going to be fine. Not even worried about the staff coming into this series. We just thought, okay, Singer, we usually struggle to score. We showed up and scored 10 runs. Well, what are you going to do then, right? We didn't even think he missed location. We didn't even think he struggled really at all. But
no, that's the
our
scary
team
thing.
is just like that. We're about it. And we'll go into your yard, punch you in the jaw, and then go fly Delta first class to go see somebody else. That's what we did. And frankly, it is what it is. When you're Kansas City, it doesn't mean we should write them off, and I know you're not really doing that. You're just essentially saying, I don't really believe in this team. As far as contenders, I don't either. But that's the hard part. When you're 39-29, you're already a good team in this league. But good teams in this league don't beat the Yankees. That's just is what it is.
No, it's true. But when you start off 39-27 and you end up, say, 39-31, like if they lose the next two,
yeah,
they're going to be feeling the pressure. They're already 4-6 the last 10, which I think is a bad sign for them. And to be honest with you, aside from Bobby Witt Jr. and Perez, no one's really hitting all that well. And Bobby Witt Jr., what I noticed yesterday is he could not hit Rodon to save his life. When Rodon came out, he immediately got on base. When Rodon was in, 0 for 3. So Witt Jr. today, 2 for 4, doing all he can. You had the triple from Isbell at the bottom of the lineup, to try to get something going. And yes, you had the home run from Furman off Marinaccio, who, people are already overreacting. He comes in, pitches 2 1/3 innings, first time back, 3 strikeouts, got him out of the bases load jam. He gives up a solo homer, and people are like, see, this is why Marinaccio needs to get sent back down. It's like, all right, well, hey, how about this? We can trade Marinaccio for Dennis Santana and get him from the Pirates after, we just DFA'd him. How about that? Would you like that? No? Then shut up. So, yeah, there's that. But, Gary, in conclusion with this game, this is just a really good sign for the Yankees. They've shown the ability, and they kind of talked about this in the studio. Oh boy.
Did you just go black?
Yeah.
Oh, please leave this in.
Well, we're wrapping it up anyway.
That's so awesome. Please leave this in. Chat. We got, I love how I'm calling them chat like we're streaming, but yeah. It's really difficult to hear your point when you're in the pitch darkness. I will say it doesn't come across the same way.
So I'll just finish it right now. You know what? I don't remember what I was going to say. I'm so ticked. This
is the best way ever to finish a show. But yeah, the Yankees have just been spectacular. We scored runs in this series. People didn't expect us to score runs. Kansas City can spin it. They're at home. They should be comfortable. We've already won the first 2 games. We might as well go take the whole damn thing, right? Take every slice.
Might as well.
And the Yankees right now, based on what they're doing, we have no reason to believe that they can't do that. We've already got those days off. We got Giancarlo's day off out the way. We got Aaron Judge off his feet for a game in this series. He's going to be playing tomorrow. Juan Soto, we expect to be playing tomorrow. Who knows kind of how they're dealing with him. If they're going to slow play him, I expect to see him tomorrow. Yeah, Kansas City's got to be sick right about now.
Yeah, I don't think that they want to play the Yankees right now. Well, unfortunately for them, they're going to have to. The Yankees have a chance the next 2 games to get to 50 wins. Be the first team to do that this year. Aaron Judge continues to mash. He is 25 on the year, which is 2 more than he had at this point in 2022. Barry Bonds had 32 at this point, and he had 73 that year. So, puts it into perspective just what Barry Bonds was in that season. But at the same time, Judge is kind of also killing it right now. But that's going to do it because I'm tired of talking when no one can see me.
Yeah, it's hard to watch you put it into perspective when you're in the pitch darkness.
Yeah. So anyway, and basically what ended up happening, for those of you who don't know, the camera ran out of battery. So it is just I don't know, it's just KO'd. So it's my dumbass's fault because I left it on. I was used to the A6400. I would just leave it on. And this thing will charge while I'm doing it, right? Because it charges for you and you use the USB-C. But it consumes more power since I'm using the 4K.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So,
which is kind of pointless since we're uploading this in 1080p anyways. Shout out StreamYard.
Yeah, it's downscaling it, but downscaling 4K is a lot better than just shooting 1080 and just
that is true.
So it is what it is. Annoying, also kind of funny. If you know how this channel works, then you're just gonna get a laugh out of this. But that's gonna do it.
Yep, and like this video.